Welcome back. This is Fantastic Chains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris,
And I just found out I'm not Karina.
but we're here together
As usual.
for more fun times.
And shenanigans.
Mostly shenanigans.
Yes.
If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the party. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses and conditions, including those that are mental and emotional.
Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
Fact. Very. Terribly.
Hey, you guys, you can find us everywhere.
Yay! We're back on audio format.
We're still hyped. Sorry. We've been so long without it that it's exciting.
Yeah.
So you can find us on most podcast platforms. I'm still working on Apple, but it's in the works. It's actually
Yes.
processing our application this time.
Good.
And you can find us on YouTube for
Wonderful.
visual. We're in 4K, 60 FPS. Not a lot of people recording that. I'm just saying.
He's
we do
special.
it for you. And you can join us on Discord, where we have just general public discourse and our live streams that we do on Saturdays.
Yes. And if you
Saturday
wanted
morning.
to suggest topics or weigh in on the conversation, that's a good way to do it.
Or if you have problems or questions.
Or you just want to talk to us because
Mhm.
we're cool like that.
Yeah, we'll talk to anybody. We're crazy.
You're like, see that guy over there? See that guy?
You won't talk
I'm going to
to
go
him.
talk to him.
Yeah, she will.
I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah. Anyways, what time is it?
It's time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Let my voice crack real quick.
Check in.
Ah,
I'll go first.
okay.
I did a week of mostly chilling.
Yeah.
Like a lot of feeling kind of icky.
Yeah.
Like body, just, the body ache.
Yes.
Like,
Very much of that.
and I had fatigue for like 2 days. It was really bad. It was driving me nuts. I took my Concerta and it wasn't enough. And then I was just sitting there and I'm like, please stay awake. And then I'd wake up like 3 hours later. It was annoying. And then I edited last minute and then it didn't get uploaded. No, it's uploaded. It's just not described. in
Finished.
thumbnails.
It needs to be polished.
Because Jen is really sick.
Yes.
And not just sick, just really sick. It's,
She's laid up.
yeah. And I thought I was getting sick, but then I got over it. So, haha, sucks to suck, Jen.
Immune system activate.
I mean, that was my week. I played with the kids,
Yeah.
hung out, talked, did
Yeah.
things. I've been playing Pokemon Infinite Fusions, which is a game where you can fuse your Pokemon, and they have custom-made
And it's
sprites by
scary.
thousands of artists, and there's individual fusion evolution. Oh, it's so
You
cool.
shouldn't mix anything with Mr.
Yeah,
Mime
don't-
ever.
Don't mix Mr. Mime with
It's
anything.
not okay.
No.
It's an abomination. It doesn't belong on this earth.
But it has all the Pokemon, and it's in the original game, set in the original game,
Yes.
the red version, and it's cool. So check it out. It's free. You can get it on PC, but you have to download it from their Discord. So look up Pokemon Infinite.
Hi,
Fusions.
sponsor us. He's
They're-
doing all the
They're
work
doing
right
free.
now.
They put it out for free, and they put so much work into it.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, I'll plug them.
I'll have to figure out what like little mini console my buddy got off TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it has all of the everything on it.
Mhm.
Like literally everything on
Well, this
it.
is a PC and Android game,
Yeah.
and Android. I'll just
Android.
chill for them, and it's great. Do you like Pokemon? No, I'm done.
Do you like Pokemon?
I know some of you do, and
Nerd.
it's
No, I'm
really
just kidding.
cool. The fusions are so sick. Like Jirachi mixed with Eevee or Sylveon, super cute.
As long as it's not Mr. Mime.
No, there are adorable combinations. Anyway,
I'm gonna be traumatized.
but you have to get it
for
from the
life.
Discord. Don't
Yeah.
download it. They don't have an official site. It's a virus. Don't do it.
It's a virus.
I'm telling you. Discord only.
Okay.
Your turn.
Now that we've had that PSA, my week was really hard. I hurt myself on Tuesday.
She
I
didn't
fell
just hurt
on
herself.
ice.
She
I
re-hurt her.
re-injured the ankle that I injured and
Yeah.
have been doing PT for the last few weeks.
Guess who gets to start over?
And I was doing really friggin' well. And then I hurt it really bad. Yesterday was my first day out of the boot since Tuesday
Mhm.
because they put me in a boot and they were like, we got to make sure it's not
Not just
broken.
a
And I
boot,
was
a
like,
boot.
it's not broken. I guarantee you it's not broken
Yeah.
because I have EDS.
Yeah, that was what I
We
said.
don't break, we just bend.
You were explaining it to our grandfather, and I was like, oh, no, it's EDS. That didn't break.
Yeah, we don't break
It
things.
doesn't break.
It takes a lot of talent.
I had to put like a ton of force into directly putting pressure on just this bone to get it to break.
Yeah.
And even then, it was only like a fracture, like a hairline. Like
Right. Last time I broke something was I was young.
your nose.
Young.
Your
Well, I broke my
face.
arm when I was like a year and a half old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I used
Mm.
my cast as a club to beat my siblings. Haha. Yeah, that was a thing that happened in my childhood. Anyway, yeah, no, it's been a week. So I hurt myself and that sucked. And I was really mad about it. And then on Thursday, I had a 12-hour day and that really sucked.
Well, you had school and then you had parent-teacher conferences.
Yes. And it was a very long day. And I made it to the tail and I was not feeling well at all on my way out. And I was pushing the chair, or I was like walking out with my coworker who also had almost fainted earlier in the night.
Oh, great.
She had broken her wrist a while back.
Mhm.
And so she's just been not feeling well. And so she and I are bonding over our not feeling well and our shared fatigue over being in pain all the time.
Yeah.
And then I was walking out and I just looked at her and I went, uh-oh. And I went, uh-oh, Lori, uh-oh. And then I hit the floor. And then I sat like this and I watched my heart rate climb. It was like 136.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do.
Flat
That's why you
on
go,
the floor.
why your body goes down.
Yes.
To get the blood pressure back up. So
Yeah.
At least your body's not
Ooh.
going low blood pressure, fall down, lower blood pressure. You know?
Slow the heart rate immediately. Yeah.
We're going into hibernation.
And then people were like walking by and they were like, tell me you're on the floor on purpose. And Lori just looks over and she goes, she needs to be on the floor. And I was like, thank you.
It's always good to have a friend like that.
I love that.
That's
That's the
great.
best. Where she's like, yeah, no, she's fine. She just needs to be there
Mm-hmm.
for a minute. She's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then Friday, I went in late because I could not.
Didn't you
and
leave early?
No, I didn't leave early, but I went in late.
Ah.
And then, did I leave early? No, I didn't leave early.
I put doubt in her mind.
Because on Thursday I had an appointment. And so I left and had to go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's what that was. And then I worked half the day and was very, very tired. And yeah, because Thursday night I got home and I could not get my body to regulate at all. And then for the next 2 days, so yesterday and then some today, less today, but yesterday and all of Friday were rough.
Dude.
Autonomically,
Yeah.
my body was like,
We did
no.
we did the live, and the live was a struggle at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were supposed to do a bunch of other stuff, and we both just didn't.
Nope. We did not.
I just went upstairs, laid in bed, and then died.
I laid in bed all day.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I cannot be upright.
Same.
It's painful
until I got
to be
angry.
up. And I have no blood pressure. And my heart is jacked up. And my temperature is really screwing me up.
Yeah.
Really bad.
You're having crazy fluctuations.
Yeah. Even right now. Just feel the amount of heat.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh my God. Yeah.
pouring out of me.
And then your hand. Give me your hand.
And then
which
my
is ice
hand
cold.
is freezing.
Yeah.
So I'm sweating at all times and burning the heck up. And it's like I'm running a fever, but it's not a fever.
No.
It's just all of the blood has decided to leave my core and go to the first layer of my skin.
It's weird. It's like instead of flushing your
Ugh.
extremities and your face,
Yeah.
you're flushing your core because you're cold, but you're not.
Right.
Your body's cold, so
Yeah.
put blood here,
Oh,
and
and
then
the
your
night
body's
sweats.
like, no, hot.
Yeah. And the night sweats are back.
Oh yeah, in force.
Yeah.
I went through a blanket last night.
Yes. Oh my God. 2 nights in a row I've completely soaked through
Mm-hmm.
and been miserable.
I had to steal the
And
brown blankie.
stinky. You know, when you wake
TMI.
up in the morning and you smell
Yeah.
yourself
Oh,
and you're like,
God.
oh God, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're dehydrated all the time because your
Mhm.
body's like, let me just vent all of the liquid inside of you.
Oh, I could talk about that thing I did.
Yes, do.
Brought to you by water. I dropped soda for Jen. We talked about it in the Patreon, but not on.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So Jen has been
Water.
on a diet because she can't eat meat and she can't eat a lot of things
Yeah.
because she makes kidney stones, and she just after Rory she had a lot of problems. She never recovered. The physician thinks that she never fully recovered post Rory. So she has an iron deficiency. She's got an inability to process meat and all sorts of fun stuff.
Well, there's that weird thing where you take on not only the genetics of your child, but the genetics of your spouse too.
Yeah.
When you have a baby. And so it can leave your system reeling, trying to
Mhm.
figure out whose stuff is what
Yeah.
forever.
So she
Yeah.
dropped it, and her plan was to just drink on weekends. And I was like, no, we're just gonna drop it wholly. If you're out and about, you can get a soda for yourself, but just don't buy anything and bring it home. Because the kids need to not drink it. I'm good to not drink. Papa berates the kids, for drinking soda.
Oh, really?
It got to the point where they didn't want to talk to him because everything was always him
That's because
just
he
giving him shit. He cares.
well, and that's exactly it. He comes from the generation of I can shame it out of you.
Right.
And we're all in the like, shame makes me avoidant, and then I fall into the behavior more.
Right. So they're understanding. They understand it. They're
Yeah.
upset about it, but not like
I
actually
get why
angry.
it needs to happen.
Right. They're for it, but they
For the sake of their mommy.
also just don't like it. So it's okay. But yeah,
that's all
we
right.
did that, and I've already lost weight, so I'm happy.
I'm still losing weight.
We need to stop that.
I know. I've been really bad at, like, okay, I've been better because I got like protein shakes, right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
I've
yeah,
got a bunch of different ones, like meal replacement shakes and things to take with me to work because I can't eat at work. It's too hard. And especially because, like, you know that thing where you just crash after you eat?
Yeah.
Because
Oh
your
yeah.
whole body is like, I don't
Shut
know
down.
that was
Yep.
a good idea. And all of the blood flow is elsewhere. And now you're tired. and
During
you're
my really bad
cranky.
days, last week I would eat and then I'd have to fall asleep because I was in
Yes.
pain,
Yeah.
and my body was like, "No, we're done. We're
Yeah.
shutting down now.
Turn
You're-"
it off.
Yeah.
Restart later.
Oh God, I hate
Yes.
that.
So it's really difficult to eat in
Yeah.
general at work. And so I just don't do that.
But you're
I'm
trying
trying
protein
to do
shakes.
the protein drinks, and that has helped. So
And they're not gross,
No,
which is
I found
nice.
some really nice ones. So I'm hoping that that'll do better.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see if I can gain some of the weight back. Because holy cow,
Yeah.
we were just like, oh, you started a new job and it's gone. All of it is gone. Like, great, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
We have a topic. I came up with this topic.
He
'cause
did.
I'm
He's
a
so smart.
wunderkind.
Yes.
I'm not. I lie. I'm just on.
Shh,
I have been
shut up.
so braggadocious
Stop.
lately. I need to
Stop
stop.
second guessing it. It's great.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm a good
He's
person.
wonderful.
Anyway, I was thinking we should talk about community
Yes.
and how it can help you with, like, in general, like
And
being,
growth and in healing
Yep.
and
and even just like
Yeah.
everyday energy,
Yeah.
having something to look forward to or interactions that can
Yes.
help you, things like that. So we're
Yep.
going to talk about the role community can play in your life and what counts as a community and how not to use communities, because there
and
are
how to find community.
hey, I have a great idea. No, we'll plug later. Don't worry. We'll get you.
Just like and share, and then we'll tell you the secret in a secret email after you give us $1,000 to our PayPal immediately for, I don't know, what's an absorbent cost that we don't need to spend money on.
Or I'll
Kittens.
just DM me. I'll tell you. It's fine. To ignore her.
Kittens.
She's on her manic era.
Kittens.
Anyway, so I was thinking about this because I lost my daily community.
Oh yeah.
I was part of a TikTok community, which sounds really lame, but
It's not though.
it grew into like a Discord and then like messaging
Yes.
each other daily. I'm still message Cleo and stuff.
Good.
I love all those guys, but like I said in
And they're
the other
still
episode,
around
like
and everything for you.
yeah,
Good.
it's just not the same because it's
I
not
know.
as active.
Yeah. Well, and they thought everything was dying, and it was a good time to like end it.
It
and
really
then-
was though. It had a good ending.
Yeah.
Except for that my cards got stolen out of the mail. My
Such
letter was ripped
bullshit.
open, and instead of making it look like an accident, this asshole took the cards out of a little package that had my wife's name on it and then
Ooh.
put it back in the letter.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. And it wasn't from my mailbox because I get notifications when my stuff shows up. So it literally showed up.
Yeah.
Somebody had ripped it open in the mail service.
Yep.
I'm gonna
And when
hunt
it
you
got
down.
lost.
I'm gonna find you, and I'm
Lost.
gonna get back those useless cards that don't do anything. But I'll get you.
But I wanted them because they were mine.
Well, they were the last hurrah too. That
Yeah.
was like my
That's such bullshit.
yeah. I was so upset
That's
about
such
that.
an icky thing to do. Can we not do mean, horrible things to each other, please?
Please.
That would be so nice.
Oh, anyway, so I had that community, and I didn't realize how much it was helping me. Like I knew it was like positive, and then
Yeah.
it was helpful. But it was when I stopped having those interactions
Oh yeah.
that like it was hard to manage.
Like the mood starts to kind of tank. and
Right.
then- well, it's this like restless energy too. Of
Yeah.
This like, well, I had somewhere to put this all, and now I don't.
well, and especially
and then the
being
craving
bipolar,
for like the connection. Piece
it's so
is
easy to take
huge.
anything like that's not. How do I say this? It's not like a negative, but like extra
Yeah.
energy can make you more depressed.
Yes.
Can
Well, because then your
trigger-
brain gets going, and then the perseveration starts.
right, you
and
get
then, yeah.
unrestful, and then like you start collapsing in on yourself in a way. It's,
The like restlessness turns into the manic, and then the manic
really
unrest
does.
turns into emotional unrest, and then
and it
yeah.
happens all whether or not I'm like consciously thinking about
Oh yeah,
it. Like
absolutely.
it's literally I'll sit here and be like, why do I feel so like upset, manic, and desperate?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Why do I like, I know it doesn't make sense. I know there's nothing causing it
Mhm.
in the moment, like, or externally,
right.
right then.
That's the hard part, is the like contextualization of like, is this something is causing a feeling, or is this a feeling that I am not venting the way that I
Exactly. So
have
I'm always
been?
analyzing
Right.
anyway, but it gets so much more confusing when you add something like that. And
Yeah.
so I was looking around and I found a place, and at first I didn't think they liked me there. Like,
Oh yes, yeah. It's just different.
it is different, but it's turning into a more closely knit community.
That's because you're helping to build it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't want to. There's a lot of
But,
other people who are doing
okay.
a lot of hard work. I
I know you
myself a
don't
little
wanna,
credit.
but you do.
I can give myself some credit.
you
yes.
you are, every community you step into, you light up. Let's be freaking real. How
I
many
don't disagree.
random ones do you just pop into and they're like, "Oh my god, it's tough."
A lot.
Yes.
I love being
It's
tough.
our boy.
Yeah, I got called the myth, the man, the legend.
The tough.
And then I was like, Draka, stop. What are you talking about? I was like, you're kind of a legend yourself. He's like, we're a duo. And I was like,
Ooh.
we're a duo? Draka?
He's just a big old flirt, that's all.
Well, I mean, you should see me in live. So, I mean, I'm crazy. No,
Yeti.
Yeti?
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 Yeti? What?
No, I said I didn't get to meet up with
Tristan?
Yeti.
What?
God damn it. I'll tag him in this.
Yeah.
Because we were going to meet up with him, but we didn't. Because
Yeah.
life got crazy.
Life did get crazy.
But
Life
yeah.
is still crazy.
So now that I'm building that back, I'm noticing a difference in mental health, I guess.
Yes.
Like,
oh, absolutely.
the confidence is part of that.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like reassuring to know that people appreciate.
Yes. Well,
just
it's like
being there.
it's like having a different frame of reference through being witnessed a certain way.
Yeah.
And not like a curated witnessed a certain way, but a like, this is who you are and this is how people see you.
That's why I
and
struggled.
here's the like the mirror that
Yeah.
they can hold up.
That was
'Cause
why I struggled
have
at the
that
beginning.
problem.
Because it was curated. Like, Eric responds, he's a showman. So, like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he has the built into him. He's just like, oh, you're going to be complimentary. I'm going to compliment you.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I see that. I'm like, I get it. I understand what you're doing. So I
Yes.
can't, in my brain, it's like, it's not sincere. It could be, but it's
right,
probably
right.
not. Let's
You're
not,
like, oh, don't
invest
play
energy
yourself up.
in,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I
You don't want to
that.
get hurt again. But
Ooh.
I can say now that it's legit.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was, but it's nice getting that confirmation.
Well, it's a different thing too to like understand ourselves to a degree, to know that we bring a certain, sincerity is not the word, but like genuine nature
Mhm.
to things, and it makes other people feel comfortable.
That's my favorite thing about it, is that it starts with being genuine.
Yes.
Like, if you're just your genuine self around
Right.
people and you're not full of bitter hatred or like,
masking or
Right.
chasing expectations or
you're just there,
pleasing others. Yeah.
and then you can appreciate other people. Like, that's what I do. Because I clock people really well.
Oh, absolutely.
So when I see someone doing something and like, I'm like, oh shit, I notice everything. I noticed things about Eric that like he was blown away. Like,
well, it's like what we talked about with my friend when it was like, oh yeah, I got the sound quality in there, and like that's not what other people are commenting about at all. But
Exactly.
that's what I noticed.
Right. I
was,
noticed-
Oh, you did something different
like
with
when
your sound.
when one of the users changed their profile picture, even like,
Yes.
I just made a custom one and I was like, dude, that looks good. He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Or she didn't say anything. But I commented on it and I made their day because I was like,
Aw.
it's really cool. I like that.
It's because we're very people. For as introverted as we are in nature, we're
Mhm.
still extremely connection based
Yeah.
creatures. And like you and I especially, because that's how we survived our childhood, was finding that like deep connection within each other,
Mhm.
and then eventually other people as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the world is a hard place to live in when all you are craving is connection and all you can find is surface level shallow shit.
Right.
And then we
Yes.
all walk around feeling so friggin' lonely all the time, surrounded by shit,
Well, and
surrounded by people that we can't.
that's kind of like where my next thought goes, is that it's easy to miss something that could be easily made into a community. Like, you
Yes.
can have like a misconnection
Right.
because you're not noticing or appreciating
Right.
certain things in your life.
Or
'Cause, like,
the other part of that too is like second guessing your own
yes.
role in that, or your
Yeah.
own perception of that.
Mhm.
Like,
You
oh,
could
well, I
totally-
feel a way about it, but they clearly must not.
Right.
And
I
like
do
I'm
that
in the
natively.
shadows, and like I'm not
It wasn't
I'm
until I
not
got
a real
threatened.
person.
I literally got told that if I'd bail on somebody, they would come down and hunt me. So
Oh my God.
I was like, hey, we're friends now.
Someone is going to beat you up.
A lot of people, actually.
Yeah.
I missed a stream and I feel bad. I didn't have the energy. I was like, I can't tonight.
Fair, though. Fair.
I need to recharge.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing is,
Hmm.
there was a filter on TikTok that shows your energy levels through the year based on your activity, your social output battery,
Really?
and it showed like the climb when I was on Welcome Home and the dip when they stopped streaming and
That's
the rise
so
of this year.
interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool to look at
Huh.
because a lot of people it's kind of cyclical,
Yeah.
and mine was more like up, and then down. Like you could
Interesting.
really
Yeah,
read
you
it.
could really see like the drop off of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing though, is like we're always so skeptical of one another that we don't. Well, okay, and to be fair, like we are not taught in a way that is conducive of community in society.
No, it's like
It's very individualistic.
competitive.
Yes, competitive, and like if I don't screw them over, somebody else is going to screw them over anyway, so
Yeah.
it may as well be me, or
Yeah.
like, you know, that kind of thinking. And then that skepticism leads us to the trap of like masking.
Yeah.
And then we're not making genuine connections, and then
No.
of course we're
Or if you make a genuine connection,
Mhm.
you have to you're faking it, so
right.
they don't like the real you,
Uh-huh.
right? Like you're gonna
And then
like,
you can't ever unmask because
Right.
you're like, oh, I guess I just live in this thing now.
a lot of people I notice will do
My
this thing
ankle
where
hurts.
they're like, I'm gonna mask when I meet you, and then I'm gonna unleash the crazy, and
Yes.
then they kind of like base reactions on that. It's like
Uh-huh.
I'm just crazy up front anymore.
Right? Oh my God.
I'm just
Well,
a
and
lot.
it works. It works so much better because then it's like,
It literally catches people off guard.
yes. Well, and here's the thing. This is how I function with my students the same way too. Like I don't even know how to like draw this comparison because some of you might not understand. Like I'm a teacher, right? And so you see a bunch of teachers who are like, they'll build relationships with kids, but it's a very like teacher
Yeah,
student relationship. It's a very like surface level. I'm a grown up
they're
and
playing their
therefore I
role.
must be guarded.
Yeah,
And like, I don't give you information, but I'll collect information from you. Whereas with me, like I can sit down with a kid and it was so sweet. I had one of my girls. So I call her my adopted daughter because
Nice.
she's A, not on my caseload. B, not in any of my classes. Still will leave her third period to come down and find me in my third period
right.
to get help and to like feel comforted when she is like
I
feeling
love that
out
that's
of
a
control.
thing that can happen though.
Yes.
The fact that that can even just happen,
Yeah.
like blows my mind.
Because I'll just like be like, oh, I'm borrowing her. Is it okay if she comes down with me today? Like, it's fine. And she'll just walk in.
Mhm.
And then my co-teacher's like, oh, it's you. You're back. And we're like, yeah, she's back. She's hanging out today.
Nice.
But like, she came down and she was talking to me about like grounding and stimming. She was telling me about how her mom helps her ground.
Yeah.
But she can't do it on her own because she gets like overwhelmed. And then she was talking about the stimming. She was like moving her fingers and she was like, see, I think that it's either ADHD or it's got to be some like low level autism. And I was like, do you know what ADHD is? And
yeah.
so we sat and we talked about how like I have sensory processing issues and I do stims. I do this one a lot
Me too.
where I will like,
I do it with my ring or fidgets.
oh, I'll do that too. But
But,
this
like,
one is like all the way up and
up,
down
yeah.
the side of the finger. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I
I've
do that
done
too.
it for a
I've
while.
never noticed that.
Mm. But I was talking to her about like, yes, I stim and I play with things and I fidget and I do all of these things and this is how I like to ground and like this is why I've had to have grounding in the past. Like it's very, hello, I am a human being. I function like you. I
Mhm.
understand where you're coming from and I can share enough of me to be like, for them to be like, you get me.
Right.
Because then we were in the copy room and she was like, oh, it's you. She was talking to her Spanish teacher. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm just hanging out with Miss Bose today. She's my person. And it was very cute.
I
Because
love
then the
that.
Spanish teacher was like, she's a good one to be your person. And I was like, oh. She's like, she
Aw.
just gets my brain.
It's true.
And she's not the only kiddo who's like that. Like, I've got a kiddo who I see for 1 hour a week. That's
Yeah.
it. But every time I'm in there, she's like talking my ear off and telling me all these interesting things,
See,
and showing me her
they've
drawings.
made
and-
community in you. Then.
Yes.
Like they're making you're part of their network.
Right.
Like I love that.
Yeah.
That's
like
perfect.
I get to be part of that in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's not in a like, because I feel like a lot of people have this thing where they feel like it's inappropriate to share themselves with a student.
Yeah.
which I don't understand, because unless you're seeking gratification from that action,
Mm-hmm.
you're just giving them information.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be like, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, you want to hear about all of the trauma that I've been through in my
Right,
life?
no,
No,
there
that
are
would be inappropriate.
Healthy
right?
boundaries.
Yes. That would be inappropriate. But to be like, yes, I'm dyslexic, and yes, I have these problems, and yes, I've had to do this and this and this to make sure that
It's
I
like
can blah blah blah.
Me with meeting people and being like, oh yeah, I'm bipolar.
Right.
There's a
It's just
stigma there, but I'm just like,
information.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm bipolar. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, the other thing that I have been able to like install that has worked really well for a lot of my kids is note taking in color.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
Note taking in color. If I just give them like a set of different colored pens,
Mm-hmm.
they've got it. They are golden.
It's what we do in the podcast too.
Yeah.
When we
I'm like, it
plan
has to
them
be
out.
different colored pens. I don't know why it works that way, but it absolutely
Well,
does.
and it's weird because it's almost synesthetic, because like you'll pick
Yes.
like for every topic, you're like, it's not this color, I need this
Right,
color.
exactly.
So I'm
Or they have
digging
to
through
be
like the pens and
separated
I'm like,
somehow.
I don't have
I
that
don't
exact
have
shade.
that one.
Like, well, we're not doing the topic.
I'm
are we?
missing a purple pen and I can't move forward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So like I made community, like we obviously have our Discord community and our people.
Yeah.
And they've become a staple. Like when I don't hear from people in a while, I get upset. Not mad at them. I get like,
No, like
I'm
you miss
sad.
them. Yeah.
I miss your presence.
I was
Like,
talking to a friend about this too. Like, the neurodivergence is really tough because there's that balance of, because we're self-aware, right?
Yeah, oh,
There's
yeah.
that balance of like being careful not to love bomb somebody.
yeah.
When in reality, it's like, it's not love bombing in a manipulative or in a like seeking
Exactly.
something way. It's a like, I appreciate the hell out of you. And right now this relationship is made out of dopamine and
Mhm.
you currently are my hyperfixation.
Right.
Like that. But that's a hard thing to balance when you're like trying to gauge everybody else's neurostatus.
My favorite thing has been online. Like with I'm so much more able to be myself in text, because I can gush, I can do whatever and then type it out.
Yeah.
So like Jen's always paying attention to me on some level, right? So
Yes,
I'm always
she
like,
is.
Jen, oh my God, like this just happened, and then I'll be like, cool,
Aw.
dude. You know what I mean? So like I get the feels out and then I'm able to process, and then it's not
Yes.
too much or too little. It's what I mean to say.
See, and I get frustrated because there's a level of processing I have to go through
Right.
before I can succinctly put a reply to things.
Yeah.
And it's hard if I don't have you. Because then I'm like, and then so I'm like, don't send them 7 pages of a novel
Right.
trying to get your point across or like process what you're thinking and feeling. So
I have noticed
there's a
that.
balance.
I've seen that in some of your writing.
Yeah.
Well, there was that one time we were both like overloaded with thoughts, and it's like
Oh,
we were just
yes.
word vomiting at each other.
God.
But it's like we understood each other.
Yes.
We were just trying really hard to make sure that the other person knew.
Yes. And like backtracking of like, I meant that for this thing,
Right.
not the other thing. I'm sorry.
There
I
was
didn't
a
mean
flow
that
chart
to be
at
like
the end.
blah,
We
blah,
had an
blah.
Excel sheet.
To the
a breakdown.
board. To the board.
Thinking about putting a whiteboard here, guys. What do you think?
To the board.
Just a thought.
And then I will sit on
army
my
on
knees
sign.
and draw on it.
Well, Kirsten brought up a really good idea.
I love
I don't want to
that.
steal it.
I like that though.
If Toothless doesn't want me to steal it, I'm not going to steal it. But
no.
if she were to do a podcast, she would do it with a whiteboard to draw out
Yeah.
the thoughts and stuff. We did an episode where we did a story time kind of, sort of, where
Mm-hmm.
we drew stuff out. It was fun. But I could get used to drawing it. Visual aid might be more interesting. Just let me know in the comments. Anyway, again, I won't steal it if you don't want me to, Toothless. I'm sorry. I won't step on your toes.
the
What was I thinking?
board.
No, before a board.
Oh, yeah. The like,
How I made communities online out of it in weird places, like you wouldn't expect, like Pokemon. That's all it
Yes.
is. It's just us trading cards and talking cards and getting excited for each other when we get hits.
right.
And it's really positive and nice.
Yes.
And I love it because, I mean, every once in a while, someone will show up and be like, oh, I didn't get what I wanted. I hate you. You guys are ripping me off.
You're like, cool, go away.
Usually, we're just excited for each other,
Yes.
which I really love because it's just like a party. We're all like, yeah,
Right.
fuck yeah,
Like,
we hit it.
celebrate one another, man.
Mhm.
God.
And it's an outlet. I get to be exuberant and outgoing and over the top.
Yes.
But when I'm done, I could just step away. Like I don't have
That is so nice because that's the thing is like, I do a lot of lurking
Yeah,
just in general because I don't have a lot of output and I don't, because I'm such a like verbal processor,
Mhm.
I'm very careful about what I do in writing because I feel like, and it might not be the case, but I feel like I can be very easily misunderstood
Yep.
or like say one thing that didn't quite
Land
the idea, and then it went sideways, and then
Oh, dude, I all the time, or even my typos mess me up. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, they're gonna think I'm an idiot.
I
They're not gonna
know
get
all
what
the
I
time. I'm
mean.
like, no, that's not what I swear I can.
I
spell.
literally
I'm
put myself in a
sorry.
bad mood for 3 texts in a row that didn't make sense, and I was like, oh, I hate myself. This is
Oh,
they're gonna hate me.
You're like,
Like,
they
no,
think
but-
I'm dumb.
Exactly, but
Fuck.
no one clocked it.
No.
They don't care.
No.
But it's nice. It's like Cheers. I get online and then
Yeah.
like 7 people go tough, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Hey guys, and then I do the same thing when they get on. I
Yeah.
get excited because it's like, ah, friends.
Which is great. Like, it's that mutuality, I think, that makes
Mhm.
a community. I don't want to say, like, productive isn't the right word, but you know what I mean, right? Where it's like the mutuality creates an actual community out of it. It's
Right.
not just like a fandom or a whatever the heck. Like, we all fall in the same category, but we're all
Right.
separate.
Well, it's like how we set up our
Yeah.
community. It's literally everyone's equals.
Right.
And everybody defers to somebody else for different things.
Yes.
Like if I have questions about something, I know who in the community to
oh,
ask.
absolutely.
And I'm not afraid to
Absolutely.
go to them. Like if
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm really struggling with this, I would just go to them.
Right.
And I hope you guys appreciate that because I love you.
And we love and adore you guys and think you are
You built yourselves.
amazing.
And we haven't had to
and
like ban anybody.
admirable, wonderful people.
We even have a voice chat.
I know.
I'm finding out how difficult it is to run a Discord that isn't chaos and horrible.
I know.
From like talking to Eric at Lucky Cards, like,
Yeah.
holy God. Like
we
he's like,
don't need mods.
he's like, we can't do audio because like, what if someone comes in and just starts spamming stuff? Then that's on us. Like
Oh,
that represents the brand. And I'm like,
no.
okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, we could have taken a left turn with the Discord, but we didn't because you guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys rock.
Because we fostered a healthy community.
Right.
But
Well, but again, all of that comes from being able to be genuine.
Yeah.
And setting things up to be like, everything we do and say is conversational and experiential, and we can only tell you what is going on in here.
what we've done
right?
and what we do and what we think.
Right. But none of it is going to be like the right answer or
No.
the like end all be all
I think
whatever.
the better
And-
stuff for us is when it's something that isn't,
Yeah.
and when we're like, we did this and it was a bad time. Like
yes.
those experiences
Yeah.
are way more, I feel more confident going,
Right.
double check this.
Right.
Like, because it was bad for me. It could
Yeah.
go wrong. It might not.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's easier to,
Yeah.
instead of being like, these are what worked for me and
Right.
you should take them.
No, and
No.
it's like everybody is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And if we lean on each other, then we can share that wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And then we have one another to lean upon, and then we can go forward and push that information out into the communities
Yep.
and bring more people into the fold. And because what was this podcast for? It was to like dispel the loneliness
It was.
and to dispel the idea
We didn't
of like,
know it at the time.
no, but
It
was.
it was.
It was like we set out going, nobody thinks like we do. And then we were like, oh my God, there's others.
There's so many of us.
There's so many, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that was a huge turning point just in general.
Mhm.
Like, community is huge.
Yeah.
And
It's
even
what
if
kept
you-
us going, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
we
And-
would have stopped way earlier.
Guys.
We've gone
Especially
through.
with the like our ups and downs, and you guys just turning around and being like, yeah, man, life's been
Right.
hard.
I was going to say, like, holy
We're glad
God.
you're back. And then having the like welcome to come back after having been away or having like not been
Yeah.
doing great is so freeing, and it keeps that like shame spiral out of it.
Yep.
And it makes it easier to come back
Okay.
and more comfortable.
So what we have to talk about next
Yeah.
is the negatives. When
Yeah.
when you set out to do something like that, it's easy if you're not paying attention to start using people
Yes.
to be like, oh, you're going to be my happy place.
right.
It's like, that's a lot to put on somebody.
Right.
Like,
Or like you're my one processor.
ooh, I've had friends that were just that. Like,
and then you wind
here's-
up being the therapist.
Here's my problem. We just got past the last one. Why do we have to go through another
They
one?
want your opinion, but they don't want to hear it.
Right. Oh my
actually.
God. That one throws me
Or
off. the
I want your
worst.
opinion, but it's wrong. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Like,
I don't
why
wanna,
did you ask me then?
I don't want to play anymore,
Yeah.
actually.
But you don't want to, like, you shouldn't set out. Like, how do I word that properly?
People are not tools.
People are not tools. That's yeah.
People are complex, emotional creatures just like you and me,
Yeah.
and have just as complex and emotional lives as we all do, right? And so it can be easy to like you said, have that like, oh, this is my person I go to for this.
Mhm.
But the mutualism is, again, something that's going to be huge in fostering healthy relationships.
Mhm.
Because we all have had that where it's like, oh, I become the therapist,
Right.
but then you're like, oh, my value is in playing
just
that role, so I can't stop.
Right.
And then you won't stop using me, and then I feel used, but also I can't stop because
Right.
that's
But if
my
they,
role.
because then when they stop, then
And then you're gonna leave because I'm not doing my job anymore, and then
right.
and then you find out that the things like the relationships you thought were deeper
Weren't.
not,
No.
or they were entirely one-sided.
Yeah.
So, and that can be really painful, but it's also important to accept sometimes.
Yeah. I've had that happen. And
Yeah.
it sucks because like I'll lose contact with people being in ADHD or like just
yeah.
in general. It's like, you're here now. I love you. I've always loved you.
Yes.
And then like I think about people all the time, but I'm not like, I don't reach out
Right.
when I easily could and should. But
ADHD, it's fine.
yeah, like that's huge.
It's not, and
then I'm worried that they were like that they think that I use them for something or that they're not useful. It's like that's not the point. The point is that like I just don't have it in me to socialize right now.
Right.
Because some people when you catch up, it's gonna be like a whole thing.
Yes. Oh my God. Where you're like, I love you so much, but I know that the conversation we're gonna need to have is gonna be super in depth, and I am not ready to participate in that right now.
Yeah.
That's Yep. So, and there are some relationships where I'm like, I can't tell you what I need to tell you in text. We need to like
Oh, absolutely.
go get coffee and catch up. 'Cause
Yeah.
it is so much easier. It is so much easier.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially just how my brain works, where
Yeah.
analog is the way.
Yeah, you're very analog.
I'm super analog. And then everything else doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not real. If it's not coming from a human mouth, it's not real.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We've said that.
Yeah.
But what have we? I don't think we've talked about the benefits of actually having a community, like how it can build you up as a person.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about, like it's good for you, but like
Yeah.
why?
Self-esteem is a big one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other thing too is if you're someone who is used to being used, finding real community that is not a demand
that was big for me.
is so incredibly freeing.
Yes.
And like it opens so many doors for you to get to be who you need to be.
I think that's what started me on this whole thing, is that I was doing those card pulls with Welcome Home.
Yeah.
And I thought that the relationship was transactional. It was
Right.
I buy things, you're nice to me for a bit, and I get it, and then I
Right.
fade away into the background.
Yeah.
But it turned into this like, you haven't bought things in like months, dude.
Yeah.
What? We still love you.
We
Like you're
just
still
like
here.
you,
And they
'cause
would still
it's
be like
you.
tough, and I was like, oh, okay, this is
Uh-huh.
weird.
Yeah.
And then I got used to it, and now I'm like, I don't know, feel better.
I know.
a
I'm
better,
trying like
well-rounded person.
right. Well, and it's different to be able to see yourself in a mirror of somebody else's eye
Mm-hmm.
than it is to like have thoughts and second guesses and like your own perception of yourself, which is obviously it's going to be skewed. No matter what mirror you're looking in by yourself, you will only ever see a reflection. You're not going to see what you look like. Right. And that's just the curse of it. So to better understand ourselves, sometimes we need the help of other people who also maybe know us well.
Yeah.
And then letting other people know you well.
Mm-hmm.
And then leaning into that to get to know yourself in a more full and truthful way.
I know it sounds.
Does that make sense?
It sounds wordy when you say it, but it all happens kind of naturally.
Yeah.
Because I haven't set out to be like, oh, I need better self-esteem. I need better
but
self-respect.
it happens naturally.
It happens
yeah.
because I'm getting this input from other people about how they view me and my position in their lives and what they think.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so like 4 people are saying this thing about me.
Yes.
I'm the only one thinking not. Maybe
Right.
I'm wrong.
Right.
Like,
if 3 people at the party tell you you're drunk, you probably shouldn't drive.
works with self-esteem too.
It does. It's like, oh, if all these people think you're awesome, maybe you're awesome.
Yeah.
I might be awesome. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's weird. Yeah, it's a totally different ballgame when you can like fully connect to not only other people but to yourself in that space.
Right.
And it really does. It gives us different opportunities to be different parts of ourselves
Right.
and to express different parts of ourselves. Not that we like pick and choose, but it gives us room, I guess.
The hard thing about it is like, I feel like if you set out to try and find something like that, it can't, like you're going to be more manipulative on accident, you know,
That
because you're
or
going to
more
want something
skeptical,
so
'cause-
bad
Yes.
that you'll grab onto anything and then use it.
That was my concern
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah. It was like, is this real?
Yeah.
Is this sanitary?
Well, and that's just what I'm thinking. Like, if we're like, hey, go find a community, and they go out, someone goes out, and they're just like, I really want to belong somewhere.
Yes.
It's got to align and feel right.
Right.
To,
Well,
to
and
everybody.
it's different too, because you need to know what those spaces represent when you're walking in,
Yeah.
because it's going to be very different when you're looking at like parasocial relationships versus social relationships. You're looking at forum based discussions and relationships, where everybody's just like another username, right? Like
Yeah.
a Facebook group. Sometimes those can build really deep community, but it's usually you find that one person who's commenting on your stuff and you're like, oh, you're my buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the beginning, though, right?
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
even
absolutely.
if it's just that much, that's
Well, and
a
that's
lot.
the thing is like, it's not like go to Walmart and go find yourself a community. It's like be open to the idea that what you found now is not all there is.
Something like that happened with our TikToks, where there was a person who always would like our TikToks, you know, and I was like, fuck yeah. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, just the idea that someone watched it and
Yeah.
was like, just keep producing these.
Yes.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Right.
So, like, I get it.
Yeah.
It just takes one. And that kind of, I mean, because we don't have a strong presence on TikTok, but we have one.
No. Yeah. Well, and that's, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you don't have to be the world's most popular human to have community.
No.
You just need a few. You just need a few.
Yeah.
But be careful of building yourself an echo chamber.
I was just about to say that. Like, don't just go because you like the pretty words that they use.
They tell me nice things about myself.
They
I'm
tell me
gonna
all the things
stay
I
here.
want to hear.
Yeah.
There should be some individuality there.
Right. Some discourse,
Yeah.
discussion, depth. Depth is key.
Mm-hmm.
At least for those of us who are like constantly craving connection.
Yes. Well, and I feel anyone who has a chronic condition feels that way because it's so isolating on its own. Like, you first find out you have a thing and suddenly you're the thing.
Yes.
And then you have to, like,
Explain yourself to everybody, anytime, all the time, forever.
yeah.
And then pray to God they don't think badly of you.
It's like my TikTok friend that I made.
Yeah.
She cracked her neck.
That was
and I was
so funny.
cycling through and I
You
heard
have
her
to
crack her neck and I
explain this.
stopped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just swiping real quick through TikTok. I was like being belligerent because I was like, nothing good on to see. I hate TikTok. And then I hear, and I was like, whoa, I know that sound. I stopped and I was like, what kind of EDS do you have? And she was like,
What flavor of zebra
hypermobile.
are you?
How did you know? And I was like, I heard it.
You know,
I heard that. And I stopped. And then we bonded. We talked about
Zebra things.
zebra stuff. Literally, we just, and we dove straight into like the heavy stuff.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
talking like hysterectomies and
Yes.
spinal
Like,
surgeries and
yeah.
like civil rights and
it's
shit.
one of you.
And we all, it was cool. We bonded instantly.
Yes.
So,
Because that's the thing. The context of your life is not wholly unique.
right.
There are going to be others who can understand pieces of that
I was
context.
going to say aspects always. People
Yeah.
are going to have aspects of
Yes.
what you've gone through.
And you don't have to make one person your person for everything either. Like, that's not...
That's not fair
People
to
can play
anybody.
different roles without becoming tools.
Exactly. You just have to kind of monitor it.
Yes. And monitor what you're getting out of it and what, like...
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything we say. It's always
Right.
like, we're always like, we self-analyze. And I don't know if anyone that follows us doesn't do that. But if you don't, just take time to think about things specifically in your life.
Yes.
Like, oh, this person makes me feel happy. Why? Well, because
Right.
they do this and this, and I like doing this with them. Or if it's literally one-sided, where you're like,
Yeah.
well, I tell them all my problems,
They give me answers.
and they tell me what to do, and then I don't.
And then I don't.
And then,
And then we do it again tomorrow.
then it might be unhealthy. But
Yeah.
you can usually suss it out. It should feel right.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Empathy, apathy, sympathy, sympathy.
Sympathy.
It's all the same thing.
Sample your
Swampert.
sympathies.
It's a Pokemon. Anyway. I couldn't not.
The
dude.
trauma is back, and my eyeballs are bleeding.
My tummy hurts.
And,
And I'm mad at the government.
on that note.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I liked that.
That was a good one.
What did you think?
Hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, well, we gotta say, just join our community.
Yes.
If you're looking for a starting point, you could try us if you have a
Absolutely.
chronic illness of any kind. If you don't, but you can relate to like imposter syndrome or social awkwardness, ADHD, stupidity,
or hating the government.
hating the government, then check us out.
Yeah.
There are people there that will get you, hopefully.
Yes.
And
Well, and like
we'll
I
be
said,
for a
like
good time.
our community is full of really wonderful people who genuinely give a shit about each other.
Mhm.
And about us, strangely enough.
Yeah, at least 413 people have seen our videos, and one of them told me once, not everyone deserves a podcast.
That was really funny.
I think about that on the daily.
That was really funny.
It makes me laugh. And it hurts
Aw.
my soul. Anyway,
Oh,
you
that-
left an impact user 314T2.
You have it memorized. You're like, you!
You!
Fun
I know
with
exactly
flags.
where you live. Anyway,
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I hope you have enjoyed our big old comeback. And if you are listening, I hope you are enjoying that kind of comeback as well.
Mhm.
We are very glad to be back in the game, and we were motivated and moving forward.
I think you can see it.
yeah.
Honestly,
And we're back on the couch.
the couch.
The
We can
couch.
thank the couch.
Everyone give a round of applause for the couch.
He's the third podcast member. He always has been. We tried cutting
He's
him
been
out.
here the whole
Didn't
time,
work.
supporting us from below.
Even when we were doing the table, he was
Yes.
still here
He's
watching.
still here.
But then we moved out of the
He was
room
there
and he
for
was
us
locked
the
away in
whole
the
time.
dark. Anyway,
Couch.
what should they do?
They need to take your meds. Take your meds.
Stop snoozing the alarm and take the meds.
Take your meds. Take your meds.
Stop doing chores. I know. Take your meds and then go back.
Yeah.
Take a break, actually.
Monitor for that. If you have a hard time stopping in the middle of the task, maybe find a stopping point
Yes.
toward the end
That's-
of the task.
That's a good idea. Like,
Drink some water.
finish what you're working on. Take a break.
Drink water. Rehydrate.
No soda for you. No coffee for you. Water first. Then you can have the sugary sweetness or caffeine. God.
God.
Water first.
Yes. Take snack.
You are a snack.
Yeah. Take
I
luck.
mean that. She doesn't. I mean it. I love you. But the one on the right. Anyway,
I love you, Lefty. It's okay.
you're okay.
Ah.
I didn't mean it.
Kiss yourself in the rain.
Because that's the only way you're going to know how. And,
You have to practice.
and on that note,
Bipolar check.
are you
Mm.
bipolar? Are you feeling manic? Are you not?
Mm.
Maybe. Maybe you can enjoy a brief respite from the chaos that is your brain and the things
Yes.
that it makes you feel and do.
Do something nice for yourself. Do the
Buy-
self-care things.
Buy that thing.
Have a shower.
That thing.
Not that thing. Don't buy. Yeah,
You know
wait 3 days
the
if
thing?
you want to buy the thing.
You know,
If you would like to buy the
I
thing,
know
you
it's
need to wait
expensive.
3 days.
It's
I need
very-
you to stop,
it's
and-
worth it
and
though. It's
just
gonna make you feel so
put
good
it
right
away
now. You're
for
gonna feel
now. You
amazing
need to just make a
for at
plan.
least 5
to
seconds,
buy that.
and then you're gonna regret
But not
it.
yet.
But the
3
regret
days.
is part of the experience.
3 days. 3 days.
Yes. She's right.
Anyway.
Don't listen to me. I'm a bad influence. 3 days is a good idea.
There you go.
It's the rule I follow for big purchases for sure,
Fact.
and it saves my life.
And his wallet.
I also apply it to changing furniture and stuff.
Yes.
I put days of thought into it.
He's
before.
like, I need to make sure it's not mania. That's how I do everything.
Mhm.
I'm like, is this a real thing before I think and or say it out loud?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, on that note,
Yes. Be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we will see you in the next one. Bye. I'm so hot.
ah!
Ah!
My coffee!